Big win, Don Wilson here for Top MMA News. Here with Nick Castiglia, I guess, president, founder, promoter of Rec MMA. Let's get right in there. You have the card coming up, Casino de Lac Lamy, November 9th. Big fight, and really the one I'm looking most forward to because I'm probably, the most invested in. Nabil Khatib, Mark Holst, number 2. Why don't you give us a little background on, why we're doing it again and, the little beef that the fighters seem to have with each other.
The reason we're doing it again is because, obviously Nabil had some issues with the stoppage the first time, and he's been asking for the rematch, ever since.
For a long time.
Yeah, ever since that fight happened. He's been asking me for it. He's been asking Mark's coach for it, and it just seemed to work out that this show that we were able to set it up.
Now, was there any sort of, bad blood between, Owama and Bushido, or is this more of a, just a friendly rivalry? He didn't think he got a fair shake in the first time. He wants to try to go it again.
I'll be completely honest. At one time, we did have difficulty working together. Yeah. Nabil and me did have a difficult time, or if you want to say Bushido and Owama, whatever you want to call it, we did have a difficult time working together. However, through the years, we were able to overcome that, and we began working together, several shows ago, again, and as you've seen Nabil fight, Dewsbury, Gunn, and now he's going to be fighting Mark again. So. I wouldn't say bad blood, but it was just difficult. He had his views and opinions, we had our views and opinions, and then we just actually met up one day and talked about everything, the issues we had with each other, and said, okay, well, let's make a decision and move forward together and do our best by each other. Yeah. And we have ever since, and it's been a good working relationship, even to the point where I have helped Nabil cut weight, for when he faced Gunn, because his team wasn't there helping him right at that point, and he still, was a couple pounds off, and I took my dress clothes off, put my shorts on, and I said, all right, let's do this. I got to make sure this match happens. So, we've come a long way. We've come a long way over the years, for sure.
And it's definitely got to be, at least profitable for the promoting business to have, two giant gyms in Ottawa at least be working together in that sort of facet.
Profitable. Wow, that's a key word there.
It's a key word in the MMA game. Now, you want to what? There's other fights I want to touch on, but this brings us right to the next point, and it saddens me to say this on camera too. But you have basically said that this will be the last Rec MMA card. Why?
Just to put it frankly, the juice isn't worth the squeeze.
Well put.
I work another full-time job. It's high stress. It's very difficult. These shows can range anywhere from $60,000 to $150,000, depending on certain factors. And it is very difficult to make it work. And you can ask anybody, in Ontario or even Quebec. In Quebec, there's, somewhat of a success between shows. But in Ontario,
we're talking the difference of $75,000 when we're talking Ontario.
Yeah, for sure. 50 to 70. I've said that in interviews before. And even Ken Hayashi, the head of the Ontario Athletic Commission, he says that. He's the one who said that, and that's why I repeat it. But it's kind of sad, to finally say it's over and done. But also it's, part of a relief too in the end. We did a lot of good things. We worked with a lot of charities in the beginning. We held 2 shows, all out of charity in Afghanistan for the troops. And a lot of people don't know this, but everybody donated their time. Yeah. The referee, the fighters, leaving their family for a week, going over there, not receiving anything for compensation, losing a week of work on top of that. We did some things that will definitely, go down in, mixed martial arts history. No other promotion did that. And now that everybody is pulling out of Afghanistan, nobody else will ever have the opportunity.
No one has ever put on an event inside an actual war zone. While waiting for the interview, reading a great clip on the wall here. You had to go through rocket air raid sirens when you were down there during the fights. That's not something that anyone can ever say that ever happened.
Yeah. We went through 2 rocket attacks while we were there, and a bit scary, but also at the same time, you're living in the moment going, oh my God, is this really happening? But you look back and you laugh and you smile at the experience.
Now do you take any pride in the fact that I have to say, not just being the fact that I am from Ottawa and obviously really, really close to everyone here at Rec, but you've done a lot for MMA in the Ottawa-Gatineau area. Not just to mention the fact that you've brought one of your fighters to the UFC. The fact that you held those charitable events. Do you think you opened up a market that now there's going to be a hole that needs plugging?
Maybe. I don't know. I haven't, and to be honest, I haven't thought about that. But I welcome, whoever wants to step up and take that challenge. If you can do it better than me, I tip my hat off to you. Congratulations.
Make sure you have a thick wallet and a lot of time on your hands, I guess, would be the advice you could give someone there.